Ian Beale has made a dangerous deal with the devil, without realizing just how serious the consequences could be. In tonight's EastEnders episode, Ian unknowingly agreed to assist Gray Atkins with his scheme to abduct Jordan. Ian has ended up in the same prison as the serial killer Gray after receiving an 8-month sentence for drink driving. Gray has been attempting to persuade Ian to help destroy his former partner Chelsea Fox's life. He claims Chelsea caused misery for both of them by keeping his son Jordan away from him and failing to arrive at court in time to support Ian. However, Ian initially rejected Gray's proposal. Gray even promised to keep Ian safe from the other prisoners. Although Ian originally intended to handle his prison sentence by himself, a disturbing incident behind bars eventually changed his mind. Ian witnessed another inmate being viciously assaulted and was later threatened when he attempted to activate an emergency alarm. Following the frightening incident, Ian accepted Gray's offer of protection in return for doing him a favor. Ian's task was simple: persuade Chelsea to visit him in prison. Using an illegal mobile phone, Ian contacted Chelsea and eventually managed to convince her to come and see him, while Gray watched on with a sinister smile. What Ian remains completely unaware of is that Gray and his grandmother Sheila have been plotting to take Jordan out of the country. They are simply waiting for the right opportunity when Jordan is separated from his mother, making Chelsea's prison visit the ideal chance to put their plan into action. Ian's time behind bars has already been extremely difficult, made worse by the fact that he has no idea Chelsea has launched an appeal in an attempt to secure his release. He was handed an 8-month sentence, although viewers already know he will not remain incarcerated for the entire term because he appears in the flash-forward storyline. The episode, which aired on January 1st, 2026, but was set 1 year later, also showed Ian preparing to act as Max Branning's best man at his 5th wedding. Dressed smartly, Ian was ready to accompany his son's father-in-law down the aisle. When the episode originally aired, viewers had no idea who Max would eventually marry. It has since been confirmed that he became engaged to Ian's former wife, Cindy. During the episode, Max was arrested on suspicion of soliciting a murder, although the identity of the person he allegedly wanted killed remained unclear. Several theories have circulated among fans, with possible targets including newcomer police officer Craig Ingram, Jean Slater, and Priya Nandra-Hart. Priya and Max have been involved in a secret affair, leading many viewers to believe she could be the pregnant woman seen in his bed on New Year's Day. However, one fan suggested that Priya's increasingly controlling and manipulative behavior could eventually push Max to want her gone for good. Discussing Max's arrest, the fan wrote, "What about Max's arrest for solicitation to murder? From what we've seen this week, and considering how manipulative and controlling Priya has been with Max, does anybody think he could eventually conspire to have Priya killed?" Exclusive. EastEnders star Diane Parrish wants more Denise and Phil moments. EastEnders actress Diane Parrish has admitted that she would like to see her character Denise Fox sharing more scenes with Walford tough guy Phil Mitchell. Denise and Phil had a spontaneous one-night encounter in 2016, which ultimately resulted in the birth of their son Raymond. Denise initially chose to give Raymond up for adoption, but he later returned to her care after his adoptive parents were tragically killed in a car accident. It was subsequently discovered that Phil was Raymond's biological father, despite him having no idea about his son. At present, Denise is facing a cancer battle and has been away from home while receiving treatment in hospital. During her absence, Phil has stepped in to help care for Raymond, alongside Denise's husband and Raymond's stepfather, Jack Branning. Speaking exclusively to Inside Soap during the magazine's EastEnders photo shoot celebrating its Inside Soap Award nominations, Diane revealed that she would welcome more scenes between Denise and Phil in the future. Phil has quietly supported her from the very start and has always been respectful of what Denise is going through, Diane explained. He collects Raymond and takes care of him whenever necessary. He's recently been looking after Nigel, so he already knows what he's doing. I'd really like Denise and Phil to have more scenes together, although there is something special about how rarely they appear together. It makes you look forward to their moments on screen. I also love the history they share, all stemming from that one unexpected one-night stand years ago. Diane also expressed an interest in seeing Denise develop a closer storyline with another legendary Walford character, Queen Vic landlady Cat Moon, who who also happens to be Phil's former wife. I don't often get the opportunity to work with Kat, but I've always felt that we have a good dynamic together, Diane said. Kat has always been Kim's closest friend, but I think there could be some really interesting interactions between Kat and Denise. That's something I'd definitely like to explore. EastEnders confirms surprise proposal twist as Priya faces major relationship choice. EastEnders' Priya Nandra-Hart is set for a major shock next week when Ravi Gulati makes a dramatic declaration of love and asks her to become his wife. Ravi gets down on one knee and promises to build a future with Priya and their family, leaving her overwhelmed with guilt. She is not only keeping secrets from Ravi, but is also continuing her affair with Max behind his fiancée Cindy's back. Priya now has a huge decision to make. Will she choose Ravi? Things have suddenly become very serious for Priya, and everything about her future is hanging in the balance, a Walford source explains. Ravi has put her through an emotional rollercoaster over the years, but there is still a powerful bond between them that neither can ignore. By becoming involved with Max, Priya has created a secret that could ultimately blow her entire life apart. At the beginning of the week, Ravi remains determined to find a way to win Priya over again and demonstrate that he deserves another opportunity. Knowing that he has a lot to prove, Ravi turns to Zach for guidance and asks what he should do next. Zach may not exactly have the best track record when it comes to romance, but he certainly has plenty of opinions about what Ravi should do differently, the source reveals. He encourages Ravi to make Priya understand just how deeply he cares about her. In other words, Ravi needs to make a huge gesture. Taking Zach's advice seriously, Ravi begins organizing something special. However, while he is thinking about a possible future with Priya, Max is once again drawing her back into their secret relationship. The pair meet up on the night before Cindy's hen party, and Max becomes so distracted that he completely forgets to set his alarm. When morning arrives, he wakes up to discover a string of missed calls from his future bride. Just imagine ignoring your bride-to-be by accident on the morning of her hen party because you've been spending the night with an employee, the insider says. When Cindy eventually confronts him and prepares to give him an earful, Max manages to come up with a convincing explanation. His talent for escaping difficult situations really is remarkable. Things have suddenly become very serious for Priya, and everything about her future is hanging in the balance, a Walford source explains. It was subsequently discovered that Phil was Raymond's biological father, despite him having no idea about his son. Ravi has put her through an emotional rollercoaster over the years, but there is still a powerful bond between them that neither can ignore. EastEnders airs on Mondays, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One. The show also streams on BBC iPlayer, where most episodes drop early at 6 a.m. ahead of their TV broadcast.